Okay, so we've taken the car around, warmed it up, everything seems to be good, but now we have to do a stress test. Now I'm a little concerned because the Mustang's mortal enemy is nearby. You can see there's a ditch over there and a ditch over there. But you gotta do these things, so let's see how it goes.
Yep.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mongrels Garage. Well, we had a bit of a busy day yesterday, didn't we, Nikayla?
Yep.
Well, we didn't pick up not one, but two cars. This is number two. 1989 Mustang LX with the 5.0 HO and a 5-speed. So we're gonna get this unloaded. The other one is right over there, the Cadillac. Yeah, we're gonna get on that pretty soon too. Okay. So let's get this LX unloaded and we'll get to work on it. Okay, let's get this bad boy unloaded, shall we? Good job. Let's go drop off the trailer and then we'll come back and work on the cars. Hey guys, welcome back to Mongrels Garage. We're in the middle of fixing the Mustang. We're replacing the water pump, developed the leak. Usually the seals dry out, these things sit too long. Now Chris took a crack at it and he did pretty good, but he doesn't know all the tricks, so I'm just going to take you through one trick here to help avoid a little pain in the future. I'm going to bring that camera on in here, Chris. So you find that these studs, they get quite corroded with dissimilar metals, because that's steel and this is aluminum housing. So what you want to do is you want to take a little torch and heat up the aluminum and also the timing cover a bit, heat that up, and it'll make it a lot easier for these to come out, and you probably won't break them that way. But we did break one. Chris tackled it without the heat. It's okay. So what we're doing now is we're just heating it up. We're going to work the pump off slowly. We don't want to put too much pressure on it. Just trying to expand that aluminum a bit, and then we're just going to work that pump off, and then we'll get some vice grips on that and get that stud out, and then get the bolts replaced, get the water pump replaced. So that's just your little tech tip for today. Put some heat to the aluminum, try to make it expand a bit, loosen up that bolt, and away we go. Alright guys, we're about to put the water pump back on the Mustang. We didn't really take you through taking it off, except for giving that little tip about heating up stuff so that the bolts come out easier, but that's a lesson learned. And one thing I like to do is I like to take a little petroleum jelly, put it on the hoses. You don't need much, just a little bit. And it helps the hose slide on and off easier. What it also does, helps them come off if you ever have to take it apart again. Isn't that right, Chris? We struggled with a little bit getting those off, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed. Now, one thing I want to point out with these water pumps is there's a standard flow and a reverse flow. So you got to make sure you got the right pump for your application. And you can see that there's two gaskets. One goes between this plate. Now your water pump should come with these two bolts in here. They stay in and they should have the gasket in place, but you got to make sure it lines up. And the next and the other gasket's going to go in behind here up to the timing cover. So now I dropped the gasket on the floor. Chris is probably going to help me grab that, but we'll get the hoses back in place first. Oh, look at that, like butter. There you go. All right. So let's grab one of the bolts and get it started. Okay. Let's try the other one. Try the other one. Okay, so the longer bolts, they go over here on this side. You kind of make a note of these when you're taking them out. Put that guy in there. Now we cleaned up our bolts. We took them to the bench grinder with the wire wheel and just cleaned them up, and then we put a little anti-seize on there, and hopefully that'll prevent that problem that we ran into. We won't have to deal with that again. Okay, Chris, you managed to get that other one. All right, these ones with the studs, they're going to go over here next to the power steering so that you can mount the power steering bracket back on.
Once you get two lined up, usually things go a little smoother.
Yeah, they start lining up, but we don't want to tighten anything up until we get kind of all the bolts started. There's nice big long ones here too. So that one, that seems to be the longest. We're going to put that right there. That seems to be about right.
Well, the way the bracket is shaped, there's a kick out on it, right? So it sits on top of the stud, and the stud doesn't go all the way in, from what I can tell. It stands out a bit because that might be where the bracket sits.
I'm pretty sure that's where the bracket goes. Yeah.
And then there's a couple nuts that went over top. I hear cats like anti-seize.
Yeah.
It's good for their fur. It's kind of like fish oils, you know, makes it nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Friendly, she likes you, Dustin. Okay, this short one with no stud that goes on the top. So you can see the power steering bracket mounts on there. Try to get the light a little bit. Pick up a stud there, and then here and here. And that's why you want those studs in the right spot. And this other one will just kind of stick through this hole here. And I don't know what that's for. Maybe it picks up on another option. No idea, but that's where it goes. All right, let's get to finishing this off. Okay, go ahead and fire it up. Well, I took it down real quick, so we're going to top that up. You see, it was at full as soon as we fired it up, it started pumping, so that's good.
Oh, stop right now.
Turn it off. Okay, well, someone didn't hook up the heater hoses. We managed to get the water pump replaced in the Mustang. Now it took a little bit of razzle, a whole lot of dazzle, but we got it done. And it works well. It was so well, in fact, it managed to point out every other problem with the cooling system on this car. And we'll take you through what we found out. Okay, so there we go. We've got the heater core hooked back up. Got a clamp on there. That should not be spraying against the firewall anymore. That should go into the old heater core, make a loop, come around, give you some heat, all that good, you know, the jazzy stuff it's supposed to do. Now let's talk about the other one we found. Hey guys, we had a little bit of a whoopsie. Didn't realize that someone had disconnected the heater core hoses. So we know the water pump is definitely working, as it just pumped a whole bunch of water into the firewall. But we got those hoses connected, so hopefully we'll get it circulating now. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a flow here, right? So we're going to need to get it up to 10. Okay, we got the heater core problem taken care of. That wasn't too bad. Put the hose back on, put a clamp on it, tighten it down, good to go. Now, and then another problem showed up on the underneath, you know, the underside, the greasy side of the car. It's down there anyways. And if you're familiar with a little show called Roadkill, you might be familiar with the problem that reared its ugly head here. And we're gonna fix that one next. Hopefully we have a little more luck than they did on that Ranchero. Okay, well, let's show you what's going on. All right, here we go, under the car. Yeah, this is the glamour of mechanics right here. Yes, sir. All right, let's have a look. So you can get a shot of that guy right there. Now, that is what's called a block heater. That's used to, for those of you that live in the warmer climates, you may not be familiar with this device. And this is for, you plug in your car, it has a heater element in there, warms up the coolants, and in theory warms up the engine oil so that the car is easier to turn over in extremely cold temperatures. Good thing to have up here in the north. Now, the problem with that, let's see if we can get a bit more light on it. There you go. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's popped out a bit, and it was leaking profusely from there. The secondary problem is, guess what's right behind it? The dipstick tube. So this is going to be fun getting this out because it's got that big heater element on it. We're going to see if we can wrangle that on out of there, replace it, and hopefully take care of our last coolant leak. All right, let's get to it. There you go. I managed to get the block heater out. And you can see it's got this little tab on it here, right there. And that should have two tabs on it, one there, one there. And it looks like it got over tight and someone put it in there a little too tight and broke the one wing off. And that's why this ended up slipping out of the block with the pressure. You don't want to over tighten these. So just be careful when you install one of these, because that's what happens. You over tighten it, break the wing off, it can't hold itself in and it pops out. So we're gonna put a new one in and we should be good. There you go, folks. She's running pretty good. Let's just have a look underneath. And we don't have any grips under there. Well, we got a little bit of water dripping, but that's water. That's okay. The road's a little muddy, but no antifreeze. I think we're good. This thing runs really good. It passed the stress test with flying colors, so I think she's good to go. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the next videos are coming out. And give us a like and some comments down below. Have a good one, everyone. Okay, so we've taken the car around, warmed it up, everything seems to be good, but now we have to do a stress test. Now I'm a little concerned because the Mustang's mortal enemy is nearby. You can see there's a ditch over there and a ditch over there. But you got to do these things, so let's see how it goes. Ready? Yep. Oh.